Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching Georgia Beer Reviews. Back at you today with another one. And what I'm looking at is a beer from Line Creek Brewing Company out of Peachtree City, Georgia. This is their Cottage Crumble, which is a series that they do. I've had a couple of them over the years and reviewed a few, I believe, at least one other one. This is the Plum Cobbler Sour with acai and lemon. It clocks in at 8% alcohol by volume. All right. Got to go to the brewery the other day. I was really impressed with their setup. They had some great beers available, some exclusive to the brewery, including a nitro pour stout, which was really incredible. And they had glass windows going from the tap room into the brewery, and they were actually brewing when I was there. So I got to kind of watch them brew the beer that I was drinking as I was sitting there enjoying a couple of flights. So Line Creek Brewing Company was actually established in 2018, so just a few years old, but they seem to be doing pretty well. And I've had a ton of beers from them over the last 3 years. So let's go ahead and crack into this and see what we're dealing with. I just barely poured it in there. Super active. Very, very aggressive with the carbonation and the head. A lot of these sours too with the yeast, the lactobacillus and everything. Sometimes this happens. And from the little bit of the taste that I got from the head there, not bad. The color's a little strange. It's kind of like a purplish copper color. It is very hazy. I can't really see through it. I can see light through it in the bottom, but definitely can't see any shapes through it or anything like that. So the head is slightly off-white as well. I would say like a light khaki color. Head, very active when I poured it, obviously, but the head is dying down rather quickly. But look how it just regenerates with just a slight, easy pour of the beer. So the aromas with this, you're definitely getting the plum right up front. A little bit of the acai is coming in as well. And the lemon too. Yeah, a little bit of that citrus tart lemon note is coming through on the aroma. But the plum is definitely in the front. It's the first thing that you pick up on. At 8% alcohol, nothing on the nose that would indicate that it's boozy or 8%. It just smells like a nice, fruity, sour beer. So without further ado, let's get into this brew. Cheers. Very plum oriented, getting that plum right up front. Very fruity and tart and nice and bready in the middle of the sip, which kind of gives it that cobbler feel. I wouldn't necessarily say like a graham cracker type thing, but there's a nice bready component to this in the middle of the sip. The acai is coming through. The lemon is coming through a little bit to give it a little bit of a tartness, kind of balance out some of the sweetness from the plum and the acai. The carbonation is nice and prickly. I would say high medium with the carbonation. The body is on the medium side. The finish is kind of a semi-dry finish. It is a little juicy, but it is drying, I think mostly because of the 8% alcohol. However, there is no boozy characteristics. There are no boozy characteristics at all with this beer. There's no warming effect going down as you swallow. So there's really nothing that would indicate that it's a high ABV beer. However, the drying effect that I'm getting, I think, is from the alcohol because it's a very fruity, juicy type drinking experience. So for it to be as drying as it is on the finish, I think that is because of the alcohol, because there's really no hop presence, there's no bitterness, anything like that that's coming through. It's just a nice plum presentation with a little bit of acidity and tartness from the lemon and a little bit more of that sweetness coming from the acai, and very nice and bready from whatever malts that they're using in this beer. It definitely has a nice lightly toasted bready malt character in the middle of the sip. I really, really like this. Yeah, that carbonation is definitely high medium, almost high really, but it's very fine, prickly, almost champagne-like with the effervescence, that, well, the carbonation, I should say, with this beer. I'm going to go with a solid A. I'm going to give it a 95 out of 100. I think it's definitely a wonderful sour. The 8% is masked really well. It's easy drinking for what it is. It's not too sweet. It's nicely balanced. All the flavors are there, but none of them are too overdone. It's just a wonderfully balanced, beautiful, sour, fruity drinking experience. So 95 out of 100 for Line Creek Brewing Company's Cottage Crumble Plum Cobbler Sour with acai and lemon. That'll do it for this beer review, guys. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. And until next time, everybody, cheers.